I may end up opening a can of worms that I don't know that I'm ready to open right now, but I guess we'll see what happens. Sorry, I've never done a video like this. Hey guys, it's Cam and welcome back to my channel. So today's going to be a little bit different of a video. It's going to be a little more chatty, so I don't know if you want to go grab a snack. I just kind of want to sit down and talk. As you can see by the title, it is why I started a beauty YouTube channel. I wanted to film this today because I literally stayed up almost all night last night thinking about this. And, you know, I kind of have a very surface reason as to why I started a channel, but it definitely goes way deeper than that. And I may end up opening a can of worms that I don't know that I'm ready to open right now, but I guess we'll see what happens. Sorry, I've never done a video like this. And so obviously my channel is still fairly new, and a few weeks before I started it, I just really had this urge where I was like, I'm not seeing some content that I want to see on YouTube. And I was searching for things and I either couldn't find them at all, or I would find videos on them and it would be 10 people saying the exact same thing, and it wasn't the answer that I was looking for. And so I thought, okay, well, I've got a different perspective on certain things and, just some things that I want to add and put out there. So I'll just start my own channel. Why not? How hard can it be? And started just looking up what equipment I would need and, kind of got set up and started. But I know that there's going to be people that know me, in real life, that will eventually stumble upon this, or, may see this because I'm promoting it, on my personal pages or something. And I already know, exactly what they're thinking and what they're asking themselves, which is, why does she have a beauty YouTube channel? Why isn't she singing covers on YouTube or something of the sort? And so a little backstory about me, I actually spent basically my whole life singing. And ever since I was 6, that was something that immediately clicked with me. It's like a passion, you just know what you're passionate about. Sometimes it's a dream that you have from when you're a kid. People that say they want to be a veterinarian, for example, and they do end up becoming a veterinarian because they just love animals so much. That was me with music. The minute that I started listening to Disney songs as a kid or something, I was just like, whoa. And I wanted to try to recreate that, and it just exploded into this whole thing where I had singing lessons and really sacrificed a lot of my life. I wouldn't hang out after school. I wouldn't do other activities that I wanted to do because since basically the age of 8, I was just so focused on it and so dedicated on it. And I just worked really, 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 really hard just on my own, was really disciplined. And then eventually things just started kind of falling apart for me. I made some just bad choices as far as the career goes and training goes, and I started middle of high school just getting really anxious about it. It wasn't I had anxiety, I had a chemical imbalance in my brain or something. It was just very circumstantial and very much related to, anytime I had to perform, or, if I thought about just the big picture and what I would do career-wise with this. It just really went from being lighthearted and fun to not feeling like work and I didn't want to do it, but just it made me afraid. I was really, really scared. And that's the thing. I never really got into makeup when I was younger. It's not I was little and was using my mom's makeup or something like that. My mom doesn't even wear makeup. I remember, I think I was in junior high in 7th grade or something. They were opening a Sephora right in our neighborhood, and all the girls in my class were super excited about it. I remember like we all went to like the opening day there because they were having discounts and stuff. And I think I bought like one lip gloss and I didn't really know what color to pick and what to do with it. And just kind of, I would use it sometimes, but it kind of stopped there. You know what I mean? I had a very life-changing day one day in school. Um, so I went to an all-girls high school, and that was a mistake. But there was one day where, like, I don't know how my school hooked this up, but they actually had people from MAC Cosmetics come by and give out free makeovers to the students. And they just kind of like set up camp in like different corners of the cafeteria. And I think you had to like book like a slot, and it was really competitive to get one. But I did manage to get a slot kind of like right after I finished eating lunch, like during my lunch break. And so that was the first time I ever really like professionally had my makeup done. Before that, like I was 16 at the time, and before that I didn't even really wear makeup. And then the reception that got afterwards, like I was walking around to the rest of my classes during the day and, had this full face of makeup on. Some people didn't recognize me, and some people were just like, whoa, you look better. And I'm like, okay, gee, thanks. Like, is that supposed to be an insult? But something just kind of like shifted in me, and I realized that like it just made me feel really good about myself. But then there was this unknown of like, how could I ever recreate this? Like, how could I ever do this on my own without, extensive training or something like that? And I've never gone to cosmetology school or, worked at a Sephora or anything like that and had, any sort of training. I really wish I did, because I think it would just be awesome, and it would be better for me to have honed that skill than like some other skills that I focused on in my life, and some other just educational opportunities that I took, I guess you could say. But so I didn't really know like, what to do with this, but I felt like, okay, I have so many things, and especially when you have a dream that's so big, like trying to become like a professional recording artist, which is like absolutely what I wanted to do. Like that's what I wanted to do. I was like, I'm not going to be fulfilled if I'm just like a music teacher or, doing something different like in production or something. Like I really wanted to perform and to be a recording artist. And that's so out of your control in so many aspects. So for me to be able to like just kind of affect my appearance positively on a daily basis was something that I could control, and that gave me like some sanity, because at this point I was like, 16 through like, college and afterwards, like I started becoming like a kind of a head case. And I literally like any type of free therapy that I could take like through my school or my college or anything, like I would go to. And then eventually I was even going to therapy at like a clinic where there was like a two-way mirror, and like I couldn't see it, but there was like a panel of people sitting there watching me like talk to somebody. Like I would just get breakdowns all the time, like being anxious and obsessing over, whether or not I was going to fail at this huge thing that I was trying to achieve. And so I also really didn't know where to go, like to learn makeup. And so like I would literally just, I don't know, like I would watch like just videos on Sephora's website of brands like showing how to apply their product. Or eventually what I did is I found a website called Makeup 411, where they kind of like break down what celebrities like wore as far as like certain makeup looks go, and they gave you the exact products they used. So if I was able to afford it, I would go buy those products and like just sit there and try to recreate what I saw in the picture of like a celebrity wearing a certain look. And yeah, it was really just a lot of practice, I guess you could say. And eventually I started getting better and better, and I was really happy with the way that I could make myself look in the mirror. It was just fun because like the different looks that I could do brought out like a different aspect of my personality, or allowed me to express myself like in a different way each day. It just kind of started to, like every time I did a different look and kind of like exposed a different part of my personality, like it started to kind of like fill that hole that music had left. And so even though I was dealing with this anxiety of like feeling like a failure and feeling just so like overwhelmed, it just gave me peace. I was able to just do my makeup every day, and some days were really like poop days where I just wouldn't feel like doing anything, or I wouldn't feel like I could accomplish something that day. And just being able to sometimes just literally do my makeup and like pull myself together was an accomplishment for me and made me feel better about that day. And I was like, okay, I accomplished something today. Today wasn't a complete waste of time. And like, I'm not gonna lie, there's still like, I still have so much regret and like a hole left in me. Like, first of all, if I could turn back time, I would not have gone to college, which I did end up dropping out of. And so that was just a waste of time and money. And I would have absolutely gone to cosmetology school, because at that point, like, that was also a passion of mine. But I went to school for music, which, you know, a degree in that, there's not much you can do, even if I had finished. And so, you know, at least I would have had that avenue opened up for me. And especially because eventually, like, just so many things kept going wrong, I felt like, and I just felt more and more like a failure and a disappointment. And my family was, you know, they egged me on through all of this and were like, yeah, you know, you're gonna become a famous star, and, you know, we'll get you these lessons and stuff like that. But eventually they just kind of were just so dismissive about it and just like didn't care anymore. So that made me feel even more like a failure. And so that made me want to be good at doing makeup like even more, because I was like, okay, I failed miserably at this, and so I don't want to be a failure. I want to be able to do something right and just start being good at something again, you know? And like, I know that I still will, for the rest of my life, have regret and like feel incomplete and have a hole there. But right now, makeup is like the only thing that I found that can fill that hole for me. And yeah, like I said, just make me feel kind of complete again, because I just have felt very, very broken, even up until recently. Like the past few months, I've felt like I don't know what to do with myself, and I was very directionless. And the minute that I got excited about this, I was like, okay, I have a purpose again. This is great. And so like, I wanted to share all of that, because you know, eventually I started doing like makeup for my friends. Like, I would just give them like surprise makeovers, or, you know, do their makeup for an event. Like, I did my aunt's makeup for her wedding. It's so nice to see, especially somebody that like never wears makeup, like when they see themselves for the first time with makeup, kind of like I did that day when, you know, Mac did my makeup at school. It's like, they really do look at themselves in a different light. You can see that like it brings out something new in their personality. So I just wanted to share that kind of like through the internet as well, because, you know, right now I'm just really busy with work, and the very little time that I have to like spend with my dog and my husband, I do. But it's just, this is like healing me as well as like, hopefully I can help somebody else out there too. And yeah, I don't even know what else to say. And so like right now my channel is still very small, but, you know, I just made it like hoping that it wouldn't just be kind of like me talking to myself, which I'm perfectly fine with, but, you know, that would be kind of a waste of my time to like record all of this if, you know, it didn't reach somebody else besides me. So every time I see a new subscriber or a new like or comment on my videos, it literally lights me up inside, because I'm like, oh my God, I've reached somebody, and, you know, what I'm doing has a purpose. Like, it makes me feel like I have a purpose. And so it really does bring me the biggest smile on my face. Like, you guys have no idea. And yeah, so like, thank you. Like, if, you know, anybody that supports me, like, I thank you so much, because you're doing so much to help me heal. And, you know, I don't want to say that I've given up, because I'm not a giver-upper, but yeah, it's like I haven't even like practiced singing for like years now. And whereas I'm just like every single day, like I'm just more and more like wanting to try out new looks and new products and, you know, do something new with my appearance. And it's just so fun because I really can express like exactly how I'm feeling. Like it really does help me express my emotions too, which, you know, sometimes I'll even just be so dark and edgy that my husband's like, okay, you look gothic today. And I'm like, well, that's what today's about, okay? And yeah, I guess just in conclusion, now you know a little more about me and why I'm even, you know, trying to be this little blip on YouTube. And yeah, just thank you so much. If you're supporting me, just know that it really means a lot to me. And yeah, I just kind of don't feel like a failure right now, and I feel like I have a purpose. And so hopefully I can make somebody else feel better too. If you're out there, just know that, you know, you're not a failure. You can always, you know, you always have multiple talents. People don't just have like one talent and that's all they can do. And that's what I thought for a very long time, was like, I can't do anything else. I was like, well, no, actually, like I started getting really into makeup at the age of 16, like really try to study it on my own. And, you know, maybe that's something that I can start following. Even though my like old dream isn't dead, you can have new dreams. You can always have new dreams. So that's it. I'm gonna try not to cry. If you're watching, if you're subscribed, I'm gonna do my best to put out amazing content for you. And yeah, I love you and thank you.